Hello, and welcome to The Alt Left.
Welcome back, everybody, to episode 82 of The Alt Left, the only podcast that offers politics from the left side with great taste and less filling. Speaking of filling, with me is Matthew Jumbo Johnson, as always.
Welcome back, everyone. And don't forget to mention, Chris, we are now gluten-free as well.
Oh, nice. And if you've still got room, there is some Reverend Dr. K right here in a bowl, jiggling like a bowl of Jell-O.
Oh, man. You paint such a beautiful picture.
I just like thinking about you wiggling around in a bowl, you know.
That's hot.
Don't fucking kink shame me, audience.
Yeah,
Shit's hot. You haven't seen him.
I don't kink shame.
If you saw the beard I was looking at, you'd be into it too.
Mm-hmm.
It's true. I do have a fairly nice beard.
Yeah, I will say it never did me wrong.
Speaking about doing us wrong, there's
Biden,
a lot
right?
in the news
And
lately
Trump.
going on. Let's talk about the elephant in the room first before we go ahead and trash my favorite Joe. Let's talk about nuclear secrets getting stolen to a fucking Florida golf club. And I mean, can we just say, like, first of all, like, it's so weird. Who could have possibly seen a guy who buries his wife at a golf course getting raided by the FBI? Who knew?
Hey, don't worry. He declassified all of those papers. Okay.
Yes, a standing order that no one ever knew about. And can you even imagine what that must have been like at like Mar-a-Lago? And like, they raided and sir, they found all the shit. Fuck them. Give me a beer. Let's just fucking tell them I declassified it already. Fuck them. Like, literally, he's like, it's cool. It's fine. It's the most courageous attempt at a cover-up I've ever done. No one's ever done anything like this before. I'm just going to say it's classified because I was president. I never lost. I still am president. I'm president forever. And as president forever, I'm going to do things after the fact and claim they were in the past because I'm a time traveler. Like, I literally don't understand, like, how this dipshit's brain fucking works. I don't get it.
I think it's
no one
grasping
does.
For straws on how to not go to jail at this point.
I love that, like, he can't even get competent legal advice. Like,
no, because no one will actually represent him.
Like,
because
no
everybody's
lawyers.
Like, oh God, fuck no, I'm not touching that one.
Yeah, he's literally got like Saul Goodman and like Bill S. Preston Esquire, and that's all he's got that's willing to fucking work with him.
Yeah, man. And here's the thing: it's not even like I'm with you on the not understanding his brain, but I also know like what he's doing because it's like the retroactively declassified was just the one that stuck out of a rapid fire machine gun shotgun spraying of excuses. Oh, they had planted the evidence. No, they didn't plant the evidence. It's always been there. We were allowed. They told us we could do it. They told us we couldn't do it, but I told them we could, and they let me do it. And that was the best move that ever happened. Nobody's handled secret weapons like me.
Millions of pages of classified information that he took with him.
Yeah, but that's how he goes, right? Like every time he gets caught, it's excuse,
excuse.
And then the one that his followers pick up on the most is the one that they stick with. And that's what's been happening here is everybody that doesn't even have a rudimentary understanding of civics is like, he declassified all the documents. It's fine.
Well, and my favorite thing is like, he can't even say it because they've now interviewed everyone who worked in the Oval Office. And the entire staff has said, like, no, there was literally no standing order. Because that's the thing. To declassify this stuff, it's not screaming Rumpelstiltskin, right? Like, it doesn't just happen in your mind. You
can't just declare declassified and
you actually have to notify the security agencies that you are declassifying things. They go through, check on redactions, run it through a whole bunch of fucking analysts, tell you what you should and should not do. Like, there's a process for this. It's not just like, that over there is cool now. It doesn't work that way. Like, there's a process. Just there are forms to be filled out. There's a paper trail. And there's a chain of command for getting this done. There is a SOP for it. And no SOP was followed. Nothing was done. This is absolutely an ex post facto excuse, right? That's all it fucking is. It's blatant. It's obvious. It's ridiculous. And the only people who are going to believe it are the people who also think that JFK is going to rise from the dead and blow Trump. Like you watch Idiocracy and you see how much better of a society that is than the one we're currently in.
Well, no, and the stuff that they went there for and found is stuff that he can't declassify.
He can.
So here's the thing: the president does have the authority to declassify documents, but like Chris saying,
But he did.
Yes,
it's not just being like walking into the room and being, "I declare declassification on these documents," and then doing a little prayer. Like Chris said, you've got to go through processes, and then like there's even a formal, like it's a difference between just declassifying and then what gets released. Is because you can declassify stuff, but certain information still needs to be redacted. So he didn't do any
kind
of
of my
that.
point. Is that a lot of the stuff that was in there, or supposedly in there, is stuff that would have been redacted had he tried to declassify it.
Well, real quick, if we're going to talk legalese, would have been redacted in normal circumstances. The president can override redaction. 100%. The CIA answers to the president, not the other way around. This is why Kennedy was shot, because that's not how it really works. But that is how it's supposed to work constitutionally.
Yes.
And I believe with the nuclear stuff too, there's another element there where he doesn't have blanket authority with those. I think there's like some
again,
sort of like
there has to be a
council or something.
process, and it has to go through like the Joint Chiefs Security and like that. But he absolutely has the constitutional authority to then take their recommendations, tell them to go fuck themselves with them, and then declassify it. He is the commander in chief, and therefore can declassify military secrets. He has that power.
Okay, fair enough.
But he didn't do it. Like, regardless of whether or not he has the power, you can't get pulled over by a cop for speeding and be like, no, there was a brake pedal right here. I pressed it. And be like, well, no, had you pressed the brake pedal, your taillights would have flared and your speed would have been reduced. But that is not what happened. You sped, got caught, and are now declaring that you hit the brakes, but you actually did. No, I totally did. No, we have camera that you did not hit the brakes at all. Well, yeah, but I have the authority to hit the brake pedal. You do. You did, but you did not. And that's what we're looking at. And again, it's just like the January 6th here. Like, it just doesn't fucking matter. I don't care about public opinion on this shit anymore, because this is not going to change your mind on shit. Like, it doesn't fucking matter. He's already proven himself a traitor over and over again. And if you actually care about someone being a traitor, January 6th would have been the thing that turned you over on this. Like, it doesn't fucking matter. This is a guy who told the generals, how come I can't shoot protesters I don't like? Like, it doesn't fucking matter. This guy sucks. He's bad news. He's a fucking fascist. And if you're not turned off by now, nothing could surface. And actually, that's not true. If there was a video of him being gay with another man.
No, that would be a deep state fake.
That's true. A deep state fake.
That would be a fake. I mean, come on.
It'd be that would be one element, but there would also absolutely be an element within the Conservative Party that would be like, yeah, but isn't gay supposed to be okay? We love our new gay president. He's awesome. Let's go with it. They'd be all on board for that.
No, I actually disagree. I don't think they'd be all on board with it. I think they would claim it was a deep fake.
And no, I think
I mean, unless it was literally live on stage in front of 100,000 people, I think everyone.
Bro, Lindsey Graham is most obviously as gay as the day is long. And his supporters will not endorse being gay. And he has to pretend he's not for that reason. Like, no.
But I'm not talking about Lindsey Graham. I'm talking about Trump. Like, if that was the case, Trump would immediately come up and be like something like, I've always been gay. In fact, people are saying how great at being gay I am. Some are saying I'm the best homosexual there is.
There's limits to the Trumpness. The people only, they don't, the right-wingers don't actually like Trump. The right-wingers just need something to believe in. And as long as Trump is willing to be that thing they can believe in, they will support him. But look what happened when he came out and was like, hey, the vaccine's a good thing. And they were like, boo! Like, they didn't want him. They booed their Jesus for saying the vaccine was good. Trump has been booed off fucking stage by Republicans for saying the wrong thing. Trump is not magical. And they don't actually give a shit about him. Trump is good at one thing: saying the right thing to the worst people. That's it. And even then, he's not perfect at it. He fucks up sometimes. But he knows the buttons to push to get these fucking dipshits to like him. But the second he turns If he fucking continued with that with the fucking vaccine bullshit and kept talking about fucking COVID, that would have been the fucking death of him. Because wearing a mask and believing in COVID has become a political hill to die on for the right wing. And so is gayness. So is gender, so is gayness. And the second Trump would endorse any of that, it'd be fucking over. End of story. He'd be done. And again, we've seen him get fucking booed. And it's got, I mean, again, and we're looking at, what's his name? Florida governor, DeSantis. We're looking at DeSantis starting to creep up on Trump.
Yep.
Because DeSantis is better than Trump at this. DeSantis is like, oh, you don't like gay people? Let's hang them. You don't like the FBI? Fuck them. You don't like queer people? Let's get rid of them too. You don't like people of color? Fuck them all. You stand your ground. Support the cops. Like he comes out. He literally just picks up the newspaper, fucking reads the Wall Street Journal, tunes into Fox and Friends, and then checks the Daily Stormer real quick, and then he fucking makes his talking points. He is on the pulse of it, and he's better at it than Trump is, because Trump has an ego to prove. Trump still wants it to be his ideas sometimes. Whereas DeSantis doesn't give a shit. Yeah, DeSantis isn't a narcissist. DeSantis is a power-hungry, spineless coward. And he's like, whatever the fuck those dipshits want is what I'm going to say.
I also think DeSantis has got more than a couple of brain cells to rub together.
Unfortunately, I agree.
Yeah.
I wasn't saying that as a compliment. I was saying it as, oh my God, it's fucking horrifying.
But yeah,
because this guy is actually smart enough to actually do it. That's exactly right.
Well, we used to make that joke about Mike Pence. It's like, imagine if Trump was competent. You know, we used to worry about what would happen if Mike Pence came over. DeSantis is the same way. Trump showed them how to do it. Trump is Apple. You know, he came out with the new hip thing that everyone latched onto. DeSantis is the iPhone. He's coming back with the exact same shit, but doing it better and more appealing.
I heard this amazing person's commentary on TikTok, and I felt it really rang true. Was they said, like, how can 40% of the population endorse Trump? And she just said, because he told them they were pretty. That really is all it comes down to. We have had 25 years of rednecks, conservatives, and ultra right-wingers being told they're deplorable, they're idiots, they don't care, they've watched their jobs go overseas, they've been lied to by every single fucking Republican and Democrat, they've just watched their lives crumble around them. And finally, someone came out and didn't insult them and said, I love you, you're pretty, you're wonderful, you're special, you're great, and I'm going to bring back coal, and I'm going to hurt Mexicans, and I'm going to fuck over women, and I'm going to be a piece of shit, and I'm going to do it because you're great. And they were like, oh, fuck, yeah, we were great. Yeah, America's great, we're great, you're great. And that's what it is, and that's why I go along with Trump isn't magic. Trump is just a flag. And the second there's someone who does it better, which is what it looks like DeSantis is going to be, we're going to watch Trump disappear. Like, seriously, Trump is going to be like Reagan. He's going to be a memory that they misconstrue and remember different than he actually was. And we will still see Trump flags forever. But Trump's going to fade to obscurity. He's going to die soon. The guy's in his late fucking 70s.
Oh my God. Have you seen pictures of him? Holy shit.
Yeah. Like, Jimmy Carter looks healthier than Trump. And so I don't think Trump's not going to live forever. He's going to be gone soon enough. He'll be a rallying cry, and we'll have DeSantis running the show.
Well, I agree with that. I was by no means trying to set this up as if I think Trump is some kind of god. My comments were more geared towards the idea that I don't believe anything can be put past conservatives at this point, because I really do believe they've proven over and over again that they can flip anything. And even stuff that they used to be against, they will flip on a dime and find some convoluted way to suddenly support it.
Unless it's one of their core beliefs, like being gay. That's the thing, because Trump is a demagogue. And that means all he does is say the right things. And that's the thing, is he's been saying the right things, but a core belief, like being gay is okay, big fucking problem. Like if it came and said transgender bathrooms are great. No, it would never fly, no matter who said it.
I give it to you if we're talking about like the evangelical conservatives and shit like that, where the religious component is a factor. But for other conservatives, I mean, look at fucking Dick Cheney. Like the moment they get a gay person in their life, you know, and they've got money, they'll flip and suddenly be in support of gay rights.
Yeah, but Dick Cheney's different than Trump, and Dick Cheney lost a fuck ton of popularity when he stopped hating gay people. And Dick Cheney, by the way, also didn't come out as being pro-gay. He just stopped talking shit. He never came out and said, I support gay marriage, gay people are great. Nope. Dick Cheney does still not support the LGBTQ platform. He just shut his mouth about it.
again, the argument here isn't that like they'll never do it, but like they can find a way to do mental gymnastics to take any position they want. And again, I'm not sitting here saying that all it's going to take is Trump to come out as being gay or pro-gay, and suddenly the conservatives are going to follow him. The point I was getting at is that I know. I'm just clarifying my own point. The point I'm getting at is that I don't think there are any limits, even for their core beliefs. All they need is one more demagogue. Is that the word I'm looking for?
Yeah. Yep.
Demagogue. To come out and find some convoluted way to like it, and like they'll do it. Like I really do believe that.
I challenge you on this. What core beliefs has Trump gone on where they've spun it to be on his side? Because that's the thing. Every time they spin Trump, it's Trump being a fucking idiot, Trump misspeaking, Trump being a bully, Trump being a piece of shit, Trump being unfaithful to his wife, not having enough money. Like, these things are not core beliefs of conservatives. The hardcore right wing only has a couple of core beliefs, and that's white supremacy, Christianity, and anti-gay. And that's pretty much it in America. And like America and military supremacy. That's it. That's the only set of like untouchable things. Yeah, those are the sacred texts. And as long as you don't fuck with those, you're fine. You can go up there and be like, I think fucking, or what, I don't know. I don't even have it. I can't be stupid as Trump.
I got one for you. Pulling out of the Middle East.
Yeah,
he went out and campaigned on getting people out of Afghanistan, and suddenly the war hungry right wingers were all for pulling our guys out, and then like so much so that they even tried to give Trump credit for when Biden pulled people out.
But Trump didn't say he was anti-American military or anti-war. He just said we need to pull the fuck out of the Middle East, which enough right-wingers have come back with their faces blown off that that's actually not that unpopular of an idea. He was never anti-war. He is basically the entire time war-hawked against Iran and China, saying, I'm coming for him, I'm coming for him, I'm coming for him. Like, that's the thing, is he didn't say war is bad and I'm going to dismantle the American military and I'm going to cut their budget. No, he's like, oh, we need new nukes, more money, I'm building a space force. Fuck yeah. He just said, I'm going to get the fuck out of Afghanistan.
Again, fine, but like, all it took was him doing that, and suddenly they're for it. Like, that's the point I'm getting at, is with enough, I want to take it down this road, but with enough blind faith and religious fervor surrounding these people they post up there, they can go with an argument that counters their whatever their core beliefs are. In this case, it was like fighting another ongoing war.
Yes, but that's not a core. That's not one of the core beliefs. That's what I'm saying.
That's
it's like I said Christianity, white nationalism, military, gay. Those
so what do you
are
mean
the
by
things.
Military?
Trump increased the military budget, said the troops are fucking awesome, and I'm going to increase our nuclear arsenal, and we're going to go kill China and Iran. Pulling out of the Middle East was not anti-military. If he came out and said, hey, imperialism's bad, and I don't think we should be the world police, and America has no right to do that, then they would fucking go after him. Especially if he cut the budget of the military, he'd be toast. But he didn't. That's the thing, is he recognized those couple of things. He appealed to white nationalism, he appealed to Christianity, he appealed to military budget hawks, and he absolutely appealed to being anti-gay. And he went after abortion too.
Cool. Like, I don't disagree with you. Like, I don't even know
those are the tenets
on this point.
Afghanistan is not a core tenet of conservatism. Hell, conservatives used to be for defending Afghanistan not that long ago. So it's not about, those aren't the big things. You can spin Trump being a dipshit or Trump having a bad policy or good policy. I agree with you on all of those things. Like, they will spin doctor any amount of garbage he does as long as it's not one of those handful of things. And Trump is at least smart enough to never go after those ones. And that's the only reason they follow him. But if the second Trump came out and said white nationalism is bad, and we should all sing Kumbaya, and we should have racial equality, and we should have mixed race children, holy fuck, he'd be done. He'd be, end of story, done. If he came out and said Christianity is not the only religion of the country, and we should stand with our Jewish and Muslim brothers and atheists, and we should have a country that does not promote any religion whatsoever, he'd be fucking done. But he didn't. He was smart enough to hold a fucking Bible at a protest. You know? And what's your favorite book? The Bible. Which part? All of it. I love Jesus. Like, he knew the couple of things to push on. And so because of that, they were able, like you said, they were able to spin that as, see, Trump is a prophet of the Lord. The guy who can't stop cheating on his wives, he said the Bible's good. It's all we needed to hear, you know? But if Trump came out and was pro-gay and pro-transgender, the transgender rights, there'd be no, it wouldn't fly.
Like, again, I hear your point, and I get where you're coming from, but I'm not even putting this on Trump's feet. I just don't put any kind of flip-flopping like this past conservatives anymore. I don't. I'm at the point now where nothing surprises me. And I guess that's my ultimate point is like, I'm not shocked by anything that happened with Trump this weekend. Like, I think anybody that's been paying attention is just like, oh, yeah, I got the bingo card now filled now. He's been raided by the FBI, violating the Espionage Act. Cool. All right. Yeah. What's next? Let's see, actually took a shit on Obama.
But here's the thing is I think that's where we come into conflict on this one, because these are not just shitty right-wingers who love Trump. These are fascists. And that's the thing, is these are white nationalists, these are fascists, and they have a set of things they can't turn on. There has to be an other, there has to be an in-race, there has to be an out-race that is responsible for all the sins, there has to be a shit ton of nationalism and pro-militarism. Like, these are the things you need. And they're not just hypocritic assholes. They're fascists. And fascists do have a couple of beliefs. Not a lot of them, and they'll turn on anything else. But they will absolutely hold to their fascist roots. And I think that's why I disagree, is because there's a couple of things they won't go. I think anything else they will flip on. Like, again, Lindsey Graham. They will absolutely completely ignore the fact that Lindsey Graham is queer as a $3 bill, right? 100%. There is the gayest man alive, right? And they will ignore it and say, no, Lindsey Graham loves pussy. But if Lindsey Graham came out tomorrow and been like, well, actually, I do prefer men, he'd be done. He'd be gone.
I mean, from the Republican Party, yeah. But then you just switch Democrat and get elected.
Sure, but now we're talking about right wingers, not fascists. God, oh my God, have you seen that? Like, everyone's all the Democrats are trying to convene on Liz Cheney as some kind of fucking hero.
Oh my God, it's so fucking annoying.
Yeah.
So annoying. She does. Like,
I can't say that I'm surprised.
And here, we got numbers on this. That bitch voted with Trump 93% of the time. 93% of the time, she was right there with him. The one time she stands up for fucking something right and to say, no, this guy is a bad news, suddenly she's fucking on the outs. And now every Democrat is painting her as some fucking left-wing hero. And I'm just like, after everything you've gone through with Manchin and Sinema, this is what you're going for now?
Democrats will never learn.
Ever.
No. Not even a little.
Ever. Like, and here's the thing. It's like they think, well, maybe if we just kiss her ass hard enough and help get her elected, surely she'll just, join us in voting and everything we want, even though her record counters that consistently. Well, like, she's never been on our side.
And that's because the conservatives in the Democratic Party, which is more than half of them, like conservative stuff. And the liberals just want fucking brunch back. And what brings brunch back more than being friendly across the aisle? And that's what they want. It's like, oh, she was mean to Orange Man. Because remember, the Democratic Party slogan is Orange Man Bad. And as long as you're in line with Orange Man Bad, nothing else fucking matters.
Well, and it fits that bullshit narrative of, like, finding common ground. Like, there is no common ground with right. Like, again, no. And I'll go with you. Like, Liz Cheney is a right-wing fascist. She's voted with the right-wing fascists. She's been a right-wing fascist. Like, that's what she is. But because they found one thing they can agree with, now they want to hug it out with fascists, which has been our biggest complaint with the Democratic Party since we started this shit. Is how are they any better? If all you're doing is enabling fascism, even if you call yourself something else, I don't see you as anything more than just a fascist.
She has voted against the LGBTQ plus community every chance she's gotten. She's voted against minority rights every chance she's gotten. She's voted against women's rights in every women's bill that's come along. She has been goose stepping in line with the Republican Party's platform and ideals every single time. She has never stopped kissing the ring of Mitch fucking McConnell. Ever. She has done everything he wanted. And the fact that she just happened to stand up to Der Orange Fuhrer one time and she wouldn't leave the January 6th commission She is dead to the Republicans. The Democrats just want to suck her dick, and it's absolutely fucking disgusting. And it again is why I will not vote blue. The Democratic Party does not represent you or me or anyone but banking interests. Fuck.
Are
the
you even a
Democratic
registered
Party.
Dem anymore?
No, fuck no.
Okay, yeah.
I'm a
Same here.
declined to state, bitch. I'm a commie.
All right.
That was gross. I honestly, I don't think I've ever been more insulted in my life by you even posing that question to me.
Wow.
I'm heartbroken, honestly.
I don't believe you.
Yeah, I'm over it, but I love you. But hey, the Democrats got something done, right? They passed a bill.
They did?
So,
well, hold on. So
Please do tell.
Let's just be clear. So this is called this is the infrastructure bill, is what they're labeling it.
This is called the Build Back.
Oh no, yeah. Sorry, this is
Inflation Reduction Act.
Yes, which does not reduce inflation. Which I mean, talk about like, my God, like I talked a while episode back about the RevComs, an organization that loves to rebrand themselves and grab onto anything new. And it was like, so Biden comes out with the Build Back Better, which is the stupidest fucking plan. Like, the Better Business Bureau plan didn't go well. And no one fucking liked the name. No one liked the meat of it. It was unpopular. And so he just rebrands the bill. He neuters it, takes out anything for the working class, and then calls it the Inflation Reduction Act because literally everyone's worried about inflation. Like, he could have just called it like the cheap gas and America bill. Like, it's so stupid. It doesn't do any of that. What it does do is a couple of good things. So before we trash it,
let's hit the good things first. Yeah,
let's talk about the good, right? Okay, so it does do a couple of decent things. So like the first is, and what I think is the biggest thing, is it sets a minimum tax rate on corporations. So no corporation can pay less than 15% tax. Yes. That's pretty fucking great. That means Amazon will be paying taxes now. Now, that's supposed. I don't actually know. I'm not a tax accountant, nor have I read the minutia of the tax bill. Now, who knows how much they're allowed to offset with like charitable donations and that kind of shit. That is the real question: is can that taxable rate be offset? And I don't by write-offs, and I don't know. Because Amazon has been able to reduce their tax rate with charitable donations quite a bit. Like, for instance, if you shop at smile.amazon, you think, well, at least they're donating money to a cause. Like, you are helping Jeff Bezos not pay taxes, right?
Yeah, actually, that's one of the biggest scams a lot of companies have gone into now. Is like whenever you go to the store and you see on the reader, hey, would you like to increase your total payment by such and such cents to basically even it out? So if it's
would you like to donate $1 to children's charities?
Yeah, or if you have like if your total is like $41.25, it'll say, hey,
round up to 75 cents.
Yeah, but here's the thing. They're calling themselves a charitable donation and putting that money back into the company. Like, in most cases, the money that you're donating is maybe like a cent will go to the actual donation.
And it depends, actually. Sometimes they will say, would you like to donate 50 cents to this charity? And what they really... So it depends. If it's one of those drop quarters and shit, then yes. If it is the would you like to round up or pay the dollar, that actually does go to the charity. However, It is not donated in your name. If you go to the grocery store, if you go to a Kroger and do your dollar, Kroger donates. They take $1 from you and they forward that dollar on to the charity under their name. And they say, look, we donated $1 billion. He's like, well, no, your customers did. Yes, but because you gave Kroger the dollar to donate, it came from Kroger and they get to take that off their tax liability.
Correct.
And that's the scam they do. And that's what Amazon does. So by the way, if you shop at Amazon, smile.amazon, do not do that, because all you are doing is allowing Amazon to take your money and give it to charity and reduce their tax liability. That's all you're doing. But anyway, but that is, so I don't know how that works. We'll have to see how that comes out. If it's a flat minimum, nothing can reduce it, that would be amazing. I would love it. The fact that I haven't seen Elon Musk and fucking
Jeff Bezos.
Lex Luthor, Jeff Bezos, thank you. The fact that I haven't seen them bitch and whine and cry about it makes me think there's ways around it, but whatever. Also, the IRS, this isn't great, but we are funding the IRS for the purpose of pursuing rich people.
Yes.
Now, again, this really sounds like hiring the wolf to guard the chickens. Like, I don't really... Right. Yeah, it's like, hey, it's like putting money to tell the police to investigate themselves. I don't really. The IRS is an organization that protects the wealthy from tax liability, so I just don't really know. Like, yes, I'm sure they'll go after new money, but old money doesn't have to fear the IRS.
No.
And I think it would just they'll just buy more art and property and put their money in that.
Yeah.
They'll reduce their capital gains. So I don't know, but it's a good step. I like that that's being codified into law because we haven't been able to put a tax increase. Like, it's so fucking anathema to American culture. Like, we want to increase taxes, like on the ultra wealthy and megacorps. Yeah, but it's increased taxes. It's like, you dipshit. So anyway, it's nice that at least we are seeing a shift that can start being codified into law and actually pass. And the other thing is, it's a small step. But it is giving Medicare the power to directly negotiate prescription drug prices with manufacturers. Yep. Now, I don't know how well that's going to work, but we have literally not allowed Medicare to negotiate drug prices, which is insanity.
Yeah.
So this actually also establishes a $35 cap for monthly supplies of insulin.
Yes, and that is one of the 10 drugs. This is only for 10 drugs, and it doesn't kick in until 2026, by the way.
Absolutely. But I mean, at least it's a start.
Yeah. So 4 years from now, with 4 years preparation, they'll be able to move on from 10 drugs that are named in the bill, and it'll be worthless. The real goal is, can it be expanded on? Because that's the thing, is it doesn't. Here's where we get to trashing it. It's saying in 4 years we will crack down on these 10 drugs. Well, that gives the pharmaceutical industry 4 years to change their drug policies on those.
Yeah,
and
in
still
the
profit
meantime,
massively.
People are still paying hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars for insulin products.
This is still going to kill diabetics. This is going to kill people in fucking dialysis. This is still going to kill people who can't afford basic mental health medications. This is, again, this is where we start trashing it. This does very little. It's very nice to see that some of these things can be brought forward, right? It's great to see that we can actually start seeing Medicare have the power to negotiate drug prices, right? It's really nice that we're starting to see minimum tax rates on corporations. It's really nice that the IRS is going to be targeting the wealthy for once. That's great, but are those that enforceable? Also, what does it do to the average American, right? Because, like, originally they were supposed to be funding for childcare, universal pre-K and paid family leave, right?
Well, of course.
All of that stuff got dropped out. The child tax credit dropped out. Bernie went in there and was like, hey, can we do a couple of things to help regular people? And everyone was like, boo, you're the devil. No.
Well, the only thing we're going to do is keep anyone or any family that makes under $400,000 from not paying any more taxes.
Yep. And you better vote for it.
Yeah. Well, and there is one thing that I kind of like. This sets a really nice, at least in my eyes, a nice precedent to show that these kinds of things can be done literally with the stroke of a pen by the President of the United States. Now, is it enough? Fuck no, it's not enough. Is it only really for the super wealthy? Yeah, this really only helps the super wealthy. But it goes to show that if we want change, if that it can be done, and it can be done fairly quickly. And I really appreciate that. But otherwise, is it going to help you and I? Probably not.
I don't know about change.
No, but what I'm saying,
token things, sure.
This is particularly token, but there can be change, and it can happen literally with the stroke of a pen.
Well, with a week-long battle through Congress. Like, this was not an executive order. This took an insane amount of congressional negotiation.
Yes. But I just mean that, like, these are things that could happen. They just need to happen.
Sure. Like, you're not wrong. I just, I don't know. I look at the
thought of, like, that it can actually happen if people actually want it to happen.
It just makes me think of, like, okay, we got an MLK holiday and now racism's over. Like, this is what that feels like. This feels like a token negotiation to be like, yeah, we'll do. Like, again, for instance, they named it the Inflation Reduction Act, and the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office actually said it. Like, but not even like some experts are chiming in. Like, literally, the Congressional Budget Office has come out and said it will have no effect on inflation.
Yeah.
It's
the one
just
good thing is it actually the one thing this does that's good is environmental stuff. It actually not
that's what I
enough.
wanted to talk about next. But like
Yeah,
that
not
was
enough.
yeah. But this was so people are. I almost said people are saying, but it's true. One of the main things that I've been hearing in the news media is that this is the biggest investment we as a country or any country has ever made in environmental endeavors. Thank you. Sorry, I'm tripping on words tonight. I'm a little tired, but yes, exactly that. And what I think is interesting, I don't know if it'll work yet, is Biden's kind of taking a new swing at this rather than going through the avenue of levying heavy taxes on corporations that violate certain environmental laws and things. He's going more I think he was calling it, like, I don't know if it was him or somebody else called it, the carrot versus the stick, where now he's putting that money towards incentivizing them to invest in clean technologies, environmental friendly things, which I think is an interesting way to go about it, because I don't know that we've really put that much focus into that avenue of this, right?
Obama
Fuck
tried
that.
that. Obama
But-
absolutely tried that. And
But it was a two-tone, right? Like he did that in conjunction with heavy taxes,
Yeah.
right?
It was half-assed. The thing is that this
everything in this
country
bill is
does not
half-assed.
yes, but this country does not put any of the onus of anything environmental on the companies that actually do the polluting. They put
Correct.
it all on the actual people.
Amen.
You know, that
Yep.
that 10 cents for your fucking a bag at the grocery store, that's putting the money back on you instead of on the people making the fucking bag. The straw at Starbucks or at McDonald's that you have to ask for, once again, they put it back on you instead of making McDonald's make a straw that's actually biodegradable. I mean,
Well,
fuck, it's not that hard.
Look
Well,
what
but
Starbucks did. They were like, "Oh, we're going to use less straws. We'll make a sippy cup lid. And use
Yeah.
like 3 times the plastic of a
It's
straw."
like-
It
Yeah.
does. It absolutely does. But that's my point. The thing is we do it with the auto industry. Instead of forcing them to make better cars, they put the money back on us. It happens with the gas companies. It happens with everything. Everything that we fucking do, they put the onus on the consumer instead of the corporation producing the actual harmful stuff, and make them actually make a better product for the people as well as the environment at the same time.
It's almost like capitalism sucks.
Yeah, absolutely. But
Like, I agree with
That's-
you. Like, hey,
that's
preach,
the part
brother.
that really, but that's the part that really pisses me off. It's this idea that, oh, we're gonna, instead of give them the stick, we're gonna give them the carrot. They're still gonna fucking take advantage of it.
I agree.
Yeah.
So
but
I don't
you're
want to
right,
give them
like-
the fucking carrot. I want to continue to give them the fucking stick.
So here's the idea, though, and again, I get where you're coming from. This approach has worked. It's been shown to work the few times that we've done it better than taxing them, because what we're doing, and again, I'm not saying you're wrong, but what's happening here is when we try to take money away from them, they fight it tooth and nail. They don't want to give up the money. They don't want to comply with what we're doing. When we offer to give them money for doing things that we want them to do, then all of a sudden they're on board because it's free money in their pocket. It makes good business sense. And so that's why he's going more.
Except we need to stop either charging them money or giving them money. We need to stop doing both. We need to simply force them to do what is right,
And again, I agree
which is
with
to
you.
make a better product, whatever
But
the fuck
again-
that costs.
Yes, but the topic we're talking about is what we are doing, not what we should be doing. Like, I agree with you. I'm not saying you're wrong,
Sure.
but the topic at hand is what this bill is and what it is actually doing.
I mean, to be fair, like, Kay's really
To be
reaching
fair.
on what the point of the podcast is. The podcast is also what we should be doing. Like, most of
I
what we do
agree.
is say, "This is what's going on. This is why it's flawed. We should do this instead." Like, I'm with
agree.
Kay on this one. But I also don't think. But I'm actually with both of you, because I think Kay has a very valid point.
Agreed.
In that, they just always pass the onus onto the consumer every fucking time, every single time. But I also agree with Matt that, like, giving them the stick just doesn't work. It's like, I agree, it's better to shaft them, ethically, but
Mhm.
if it doesn't actually reduce carbon emissions, like, I don't want to be on a burned out planet going, well, at least we took the high road. Like,
Yeah.
Of course, I don't want to. You know, of course, that's not what I want.
Now, I don't want the carrot either. I want to
give
burn them down.
Or to take from them is not the point. It's to actually get them to do what is right
Without passing
and make
that on
a
to
better
consumers.
without passing that on to consumers. Because right now, all of that is being passed on to consumers either by them charging us more and putting the onus on us, or our government giving them a whole bunch of our money.
Yep.
So it gets passed on to us one way or the other.
I mean, here's what it comes down to: is these industries are like spoiled toddlers, right? These are a 6-year-old that has never been told no in its entire life, the whole time, and they are in a store having a meltdown because you said they couldn't have a cupcake. Now, there's several options you can do here. You can just give them the cupcake and get the fuck out the store because that's what you really want to do. You can say, stand your ground and say, no, go fuck yourself, you entitled piece of shit. And you will definitely be ethically correct. And that would be a better lesson in the long run.
That's where I'm at.
But the toddler will always win. You are assuming if you give them the stick, you can say no, but that only has a 30-second timer on it. Because in 30 seconds, a different parent comes along and they get to decide if it's the carrot or the stick again. All the toddler has to do is cry for 30 more seconds. In this case, that 30 seconds is 4 years. And that's what I'm saying. Is like, I agree with you. The stick is the right way to go, and I am sick and fucking tired of these pieces of shit screwing us over. However, if you give them the stick, they'll find ways around it, and they'll just hold out because they know a Republican will come back into office and ease all their corporate tax credits. If we say, we'll give you some government grants if you actually shift over to this thing, like, well, that costs money. Fine, we'll fucking pay the bill if you'll just become a green company. Okay. Like, we have to bribe them and coddle them, and the reason we have to do that is because we believe in capitalism. That's the price you pay. You want to be capitalist? That means you worship capital and you worship people who own the means of production. That's what you've done. That is the choice we as a culture made, was that we are going to suck the dick of every single fucking capital holder.
Yeah, and, I mean, to your point too, Kay, is I was reading, I think this was like last week, maybe the week before, something recently, where, you know, the focus is always on how many cars we have, you know, like always getting pissed at people for not having enough public transportation. And again, I agree, we should have a better public transportation system. But this study, I guess, released, it said we could remove every gas running car on the planet tomorrow, and while our environment would improve, we would have only put at best a stall if we don't do anything to fix the constant corporate pollution that we're getting. Things like
the two largest producers of emissions are?
The United States military is number one.
No. The industries.
Oh,
Nestle, I know is one as a company. I think Nestle is one of the bigger
industry,
ones.
not a company. Industry.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. Plastics.
Wait, no. Hold on. I know this. Cement is one of them, right?
It's concrete.
Concrete.
And steel.
Yeah. That's right.
Concrete and steel production are the two most. They produce the most greenhouse gas than any other industries. But we
with
need
the exception of
steel.
the United States military-industrial complex.
Yeah, but we're not talking about that specifically. We're talking about industry, and it's because we need steel and fucking concrete for everything we do. And it's because here in this country or in this world at this point, we are growing exponentially, and we need more steel and more concrete every day.
I would even wonder if what you're talking about, Kay, feeds into what Chris is talking about. Because, like, wouldn't the needs of the military industrial complex needing steel and concrete kind of be part of that? I don't know. I'm just thinking.
No. So
it's the amount of
military
oil
industrial. Yeah, that's the reason why the military complex is what it is. We have an unnecessarily large military for the size of country we are.
Great. Like, we're bigger than the next, like, fucking 15 countries combined.
Yes, but the amount of emissions we produce and oil we consume to run these ships and airplanes and missiles and jeeps
is vastly larger than any other military.
Yeah, no single thing produces more emissions than the United States military.
Yep.
Correct. Except for concrete and steel.
No, military produces more. If you counted the military as an industry, it would produce more.
Okay, I don't know how much the military actually produces, so I will believe you on that.
If only there was a
It
magical
doesn't
box
actually
to look
matter.
at and
That doesn't
figure
actually matter.
out the
Kay's got a good
numbers.
point.
Yeah, the thing is, it doesn't actually
They all
matter.
suck. They're horrible. Like, yes.
But to me, what we need to do is in those cases of like steel and concrete production, well, how do we combat that? How do we actually make that into uh, so that they're at least carbon neutral? They're never going to be, taking more carbon out of the environment and putting into it, but at least carbon neutral. That's the really important part with all of industry is
Yeah.
not necessarily, making them so that they take carbon out, but just so that they don't produce any more.
Well, it's why there's so much money being invested into materials research too, because that's actually a
Absolutely.
burgeoning field is green
It
materials. Is because
absolutely is.
we have a finite amount of these things, and I think one of the biggest pushes has been to find new materials that we can use, produce with zero or negative carbon emissions that will give us the same results. The problem we've had so far is that these materials are cheap to make, readily available, and easier to distribute. Yeah, I don't know why I don't know about that,
That's all right.
but yeah.
And yes, the thing is we also need to be investing in the technology that actually will take the carbon out of our environment. But that's something that most people don't think is actually possible when it absolutely is possible.
Oh yeah, we've found it. It's kind of like what is it? Solar panels. The technology exists. It's just not where it needs to be right now.
Yeah, and
But the more we invest, the better we get. Like every year, like the way I think in the lab we just got solar panels that were like at 55% efficacy.
not efficacy, efficiency.
Efficiency. That's what I meant. Thank you.
Yeah, 55% efficiency, which I think like 10 years ago we were at like 22 or 25% efficiency. And then 5 years before that, we were only like 15% efficiency.
Yeah.
So if you have solar panels on your house and they're 15 years old, go get some new solar panels, would you?
So wait, you're telling me that if we just keep throwing money at these things, we'll eventually get better versions of them?
Yes, I would. That's exactly.
It's almost
what
like science and engineering are real. Weird.
It's
Wow,
absolutely
weird, so odd. Man, imagine what would happen if we educated people about these things and got even more scientists
No,
and
you
engineers.
can't educate them. They don't want to be educated.
If you educate people, they might talk about the Holocaust, and we don't let that in our books anymore.
That's right, because Texas
Then
doesn't want Anne Frank. No more of that.
Then
Nope.
brown people will actually get some money
Hey,
and actually
We're
be
not
able to
going
do
to talk
things.
about the Holocaust. There were good people on both sides.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize.
Out of context clips given to you by the alt left.
I don't think that was out of context at all.
No, I'm saying it could absolutely be taken out of context if you just clip it.
I don't know. I felt a chill up my spine as every single Jewish ancestor I have cringed simultaneously. But yeah, that's our week. Stay fucking tuned because it's only going to get better. We are going to continue to see
Or worse,
Democrats
depending.
do nothing good for anyone. And let's go take bets. What do you think is going to happen to Trump, Kay?
Ooh, I think he's gonna. Oh God, see Mike. One side of my brain says that he's gonna go to jail for a very long time, or at least until he dies. The other side of me says he's found a way to weasel out of damn near every fucking thing else in his entire fucking existence. And I feel like that's what's going to happen here is that he's going to figure some way to worm his way out of this situation, that some person is going to come up with some asinine fucking rule or judgment or some sort of thing, and we're going to get no satisfaction, and he's just going to eventually get old and die. At least that's what I'm hoping for, is that he just gets old and dies. Or just dies. I don't care that he gets old.
He's already old. So my thought is, well, actually, go ahead, Matt. Do yours first.
Yeah, I mean, I think Kay's pretty much on it. I've lost all faith that people in positions of power or the super wealthy are ever going to face consequences for their actions. I think ultimately I would be surprised if Trump spends even a single day in jail or gets probation or anything like that. Republicans will find some way to railroad this or block this. His supporters will always be there. I think what Kaysen is right. I do think health wise he is on his way out. And I think what will end up happening is he'll die, and then all the QAnon people will be coming out every 2 or 3 years to say that he's actually not dead and he's coming back and he's going to be the new president again. So I want there to be justice, though. Like, let me be clear. I've seen reports that like people who have done similar crimes in the past who weren't the president have gotten upwards of 9 years in jail. I would love that, because I think if Trump did 9 years, he wouldn't come out alive.
Zombie Trump 2042.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah. But again, I find myself more and more just pessimistic about the situation, because like I think everything he's done has been illegal, morally reprehensible, ethically reprehensible, and I think we have created a society that shields people like him from the consequences of those actions. So I don't want to end on, I hate being a downer here, but yeah, I just don't see anything bad happening to him.
Yeah. And I couldn't agree more. That thing is, I don't know. It's a coin toss on whether or not he'll actually be brought up on charges. And then if that happens, it's a coin toss if he'll actually be convicted of anything. What I can tell you for sure is he will suffer no real consequences. He will not go to prison. He will not be given anything. He will suffer no fucking consequences for what he's done. So good. We're all in agreement. So before we run, though, Matt, go ahead and slap on that sweet, sweet blue postal worker hat, the only boys in blue we support here, and tell me what's in the mailbag.
So not so much a sack. We've been kind of like, I mean, our listeners know we've been kind of on, we missed a week, and then we kind of posted up our 805 Uncensored panel with Jordan. But we have actually reached another listener bonus, and I do want to let people know we kind of talked about it. And what we're going to be doing is another live session. We're going to try and do a live panel, taking a page out of our buddy Jordan's book. It's going to be coming up next week. I'm thinking Thursday or Friday. We haven't locked the dates down. We will be blowing it up on Twitter once we lock it down. But yeah, we had a good time at the live event last time. This time we're going to get some of the regulars you guys have heard on. We're going to be hosting a panel live event. People can join. You guys can ask us questions, and we'll have a topic we'll be discussing as well. So, just a way of saying thank you to everyone for continuously sharing the podcast, helping us grow. Remember, we do this every time we get another 50 listeners on Spotify or any of our other platforms that are hosting us. So
yeah, and show up and ask us questions and talk to us.
Yeah, do it. We would love to engage with you guys and kind of give you some of the love back, because the only reason we're as big as we are now, and I use the term big loosely here, is because so many of you guys have just been kind of spreading the word and getting us out there, and we get new listeners every single week, and it's great. So stay tuned. Again, next week we will be doing a live event, and then we'll repost that live event as the episode 2 weeks from now.
Outstanding. Well,
Yay!
That's gonna do it. That is your weekly dose of juicy goodness. I know we were gone last week because we were all off in the woods pretending to be Amish, but we're back. We're using technology, and we are carbon neutral
And gluten free.
Gluten free. I like my gluten, by the way. Fuck you. I'm eating gluten. I want extra gluten. I'll take your gluten.
Extra
I pour gluten on my bread. Yeah, extra gluten. I want more of that sweet wheat gluten.
That's right. You heard it here first. Kay and Chris hate people with celiac disease. I don't know why there's
no. That's not what I said at all. I said I love gluten for me.
That's not what I said, but I'm standing by it. Fuck you if you have celiac disease. You're a bad person. It's a reflection on your character as a person. I personally hold you accountable for your gluten.
Well, you get celiac disease, right? You get it by kicking puppies.
See, I knew it. I knew there was.
I've kicked all kinds of puppies, and I don't have it.
Kick more.
Oh
no, you got diabetes for that.
Oh, that's what I got. Shit. I think I'd still rather have the celiac disease, to be honest.
Kay skipped right over celiac and went straight to diabetes.
Fair enough. Well, but we will see you all next week. We love you. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. And remember, the revolution is you.